In an ancient land once ruled by magic and light, there existed a thriving kingdom known as Eldoria. Its people lived in peace, protected by a sacred flame that burned eternally at the heart of the royal palace. Known as the Flame of Eternity, it was said to be a gift from the gods, symbolizing unity and hope. However, one fateful night, a powerful sorcerer named Malachar betrayed the kingdom. Consumed by greed, he attempted to claim the flame's power for himself. But as he touched it, the flame shattered into 1,000 glowing embers, scattering across the kingdom. Without the flame, Eldoria fell into darkness, its people divided, and its lands desolate. Generations later, in a small village hidden in the shadows of the once great kingdom, there lived a boy named Kai. He was an orphan, raised by an old blacksmith who often told him stories of Eldoria's lost glory. "The flame of eternity still lives," the blacksmith would say. "If someone with a pure heart can gather its embers and reignite it, the kingdom can be restored." Though Kai loved the tales, he never believed he could be the one to restore the flame. He was just an ordinary boy with no special powers, only a strong heart and an unyielding spirit. One evening, as Kai wandered near the village outskirts, he saw a faint glow in the distance. Curious, he followed the light and discovered a single ember glowing softly amidst the darkness. As he reached out to touch it, the ember flared brightly, and a voice echoed in his mind. "Kai, the flame calls to you. Gather the embers and restore the light of Eldoria." Though startled, Kai felt a strange warmth in his chest, a sense of purpose he had never known. He returned to the blacksmith, who, upon hearing of the ember, handed him a finely crafted sword and a sturdy cloak. "The journey will be dangerous," the blacksmith warned. "Many have sought the embers, but few have returned. Trust in your heart, and you may succeed where others have failed." The journey to gather the embers, with the sword at his side and the ember glowing faintly in his pouch, Kai set out on a journey across the forgotten lands of Eldoria. His path was fraught with peril, but he knew he had no choice. Alsif, Nuisi, the kingdom's fate rested in his hands. The Forest of Shadows. The first ember lay deep within the Forest of Shadows, a dark, twisted wood where sunlight never reached. As Kai ventured deeper, shadowy figures emerged, whispering doubts and fears into his mind. "You're too weak," they hissed. "You'll never find the flame." Kai gripped his sword tightly and pressed on, refusing to let fear control him. When he reached the heart of the forest, he found the ember guarded by a spectral beast. Drawing strength from his determination, Kai fought bravely, using both skill and heart. With a final strike, the beast vanished, and the second ember floated into his hand. The Desert of Illusions. The next ember lay in the Desert of Illusions, a vast, shimmering expanse where reality twisted and mirages played tricks on the mind. As Kai journeyed through the desert, he saw visions of his past, his parents, the blacksmith, and even himself, offering an easier path. "Give up," the mirages whispered. "You don't need to suffer." But Kai knew they weren't real. He focused on the warmth of the ember in his pouch, guiding him through the illusions. At last, he reached an ancient altar where the third ember rested. As he claimed it, the desert's illusions faded, the mountain of trials. The final ember was hidden atop the mountain of trials, a treacherous peak where the air grew thin and the path was steep. As Kai climbed, the cold bit into his skin, and exhaustion weighed on his body. But he remembered the stories of Eldoria's lost glory, and he pressed on, driven by hope. At the summit, he faced Malachar, the sorcerer who had shattered the flame. Though centuries had passed, Malachar's dark magic had kept him alive, and he now sought to prevent the flame's restoration. "You think you can undo what I have done?" Malachar sneered. "The flame belongs to me." Kai stood his ground. "The flame belongs to everyone. It was never yours to take." Malachar unleashed a storm of dark magic, but Kai, with the embers glowing brightly, charged forward. The battle was fierce, but Kai's determination and courage proved stronger. With one final strike, Malachar was defeated, and the final ember merged with the others, creating a brilliant flame in Kai's hand, The restoration of Eldoria. With the flame of eternity reignited, Kai returned to the ruins of Eldoria's palace. Placing the flame at the heart of the kingdom, he watched as its light spread across the land. The darkness lifted, the fields bloomed, and the people, once divided, came together once more. Kai, though still humble, became a legend, the boy who restored the lost flame and brought hope back to a broken world. Moral of the story: true power lies not in magic or might, but in courage, selflessness, and the strength to face the unknown. Even in the darkest times, a single spark of hope can ignite a flame that changes the world. And so, the tale of Kai and the flame of the forgotten kingdom became a beacon of hope, reminding generations that with heart and determination, even the smallest among us can achieve the extraordinary.